Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Daily Bone Podcast. Happy Monday. This is where we discuss all things crypto market, including the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, hype, and meme coins and NFTs like Bodogos. Today, we're going to discuss crypto strength amidst global uncertainty. There's some crazy shit going on, and Bitcoin doesn't seem to care about it. Crypto doesn't seem to care about it. We got some green across the board to kick off the week. We also are going to talk about the latest partnership with the Trump family and Justin Sun. We had a hot day this morning of news. We're going to cover all of it, and a new drop coming from Rec Drinks today on Solana. And if you should be checking it out. Today, I'm joined by Easy's Bodega and Signal. We got a lot to talk about, folks. And if you're listening on Twitter Spaces, give us a like, bookmark, comment. Let us know you're here, what you're buying. And if you're listening on YouTube, give us a little GM. It's good to see you guys. Signal, how are you doing?
Good, man. Good, man. You dropped a banger of a tune. I love that intro song. It was really good. Easy. Oh, that was a good one. Really liked it. It started, I don't know, made me sort of feel like nothing can go wrong today, although I know I literally have a burning bush behind me, but in my real life, but it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Clemente, I wanted to talk about Disneyland though, because I saw the cute little Minnie Mouse headgear. How was it?
Fantastic. I went to Disney for the first time. I was talking to Signal about it before the show, and I think it's the most accurate. You can get a really good pulse check on the US by going. First off, Disney's expensive as hell. You like any clothes there, it's like shitty ass merch, but because it has the Disney IP on it, Stitch or the Lion King or Mickey Mouse, they just charge like 5x what they usually charge, and people will pay for it. I was like, are these families just spending like $6,000 to be here for a weekend? And where are they getting this money from? So I guess everyone's saying America's broke. Maybe they're not. Unless they're financing it with like Klarna, the Disney weekend paid for by Klarna. Yeah, I said this in my tweet, a lot of overweight people. I think we have like a pretty sedentary lifestyle now with in the US, but it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I did like the drinking around the world or whatever, Epcot. So you go to different places. It was cool. It was cool.
What was up with the CryptoPunks number 3? You're like, CryptoPunks are severely undervalued.
I didn't say that.
You did. You did. The IP. You said the CryptoPunks IP.
I said CryptoPunks?
Yeah, you said something about CryptoPunks IP.
No, top crypto IPs are under.
Sorry. I read that
shit, was that sauce when I wrote this?
You definitely were.
I was drinking around the world. I also ran into someone.
I
was sitting there with my girlfriend, and we were like waiting in line for the bathroom. And I see a guy like looking at me, and I was just like messing around. He's like, "Yo, are you Clemente?" Anyways, we talked for a little bit, and that was, I think, the first time I was with my girlfriend, and someone like came up to me and recognized me from Twitter, and she was like, "Damn!" Like I was like, "Yeah, hey, what can I say?"
Did she hold on to you that little bit closer just to never let go and just be like, "Okay"?
She hasn't seen the video of me in a dress, that's for sure. I won't be showing her that video. I think needs to get wiped from the internet, but
Imagine if he walks up, he's like, "Dude, I love that video of you just in a dress." And she's like,
I was like, "Nah, I don't." This guy's a loon. Never seen him before. I don't know.
Or the shower, the winter shower as well. That would be a
dude
good one.
Pulls out the phone. He's like, "Nah, dude, this is you." He's like, "Yeah, you're right here."
She'd be like, "Yo, get your ass home. We're done." All right, let's get the show on the road. Lot to talk about today. Signal, take it away with the weather report whenever you're ready.
Yeah, we are already in mid-June, so let's get it in for that Monday, June 16th. What is up on the crypto roundup? The majors, they're all up this morning with Bitcoin near 107K, Ethereum just under 2,600, and Solana at $155. Over the weekend, top 3 stories. Well, news broke this morning that Tron plans to go public in the US via a reverse merger with SRM Entertainment and Eric Trump. He is expected to take a role at the company. The US paused a probe into founder Justin Sun early this year, and a new company plans to operate a crypto treasury strategy similar to MicroStrategy. SRM is up over 255% to $5.23 in pre-market trading. Next up, Rec Brands has partnered with Jupiter and Meteora to bring its Rec token and drinks to Solana. Rec tokens can now be bridged to Solana via Layer 0, and a sale for the next round of drink goes live today with JUP stakers and Rec holders eligible to purchase. And finally, Donald Trump continued to benefit from the success of crypto as he disclosed he made $57 million worth of income from World Liberty Financial token sale. The disclosure also showed that the current president holds 15.7 billion of the token, representing over 15% of the token supply. Also, some more news broke this morning that Truth Social filed for a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. Loads of news over the weekend, but that is all for the weather report. It's back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Signal, for the weather report. A lot of stuff going down this weekend. We'll cover everything, but I think it's worth starting with the breaking news about Justin Sun and Tron going public. For people that don't know, I'm going to read over it again. Tron plans to go public in the U.S. via a reverse merger with SRM Entertainment. I've never heard of SRM Entertainment. And Eric Trump is expected to take a role at the company. Wild news, considering that I think less than 6 months ago, Easy, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin Sun was under investigation by the SEC.
Correct.
The criticism, I believe, if I were to, kick off thoughts on this, but let me finish this part. The U.S. paused an investigation into Justin Sun earlier this year. The new company plans to operate a crypto treasury similar to MicroStrategy.
Yeah, but this will be a much faster horse.
Yeah, it'll be better than MicroStrategy. SRM is up 255% to $5.23 in pre-market trading. Easy, do you know the market cap of this SRM?
Like 86 million, or it was. I don't know what it is now.
Is this a buy?
I'm not buying it.
Tron. How would you value this? Interesting. Okay. So I have a few questions. Easy. I'll drill you with some questions. If you don't know them, just let me know. Why are we seeing a trend of these reverse mergers versus IPOing? And why didn't we see it before?
less restrictions on doing this? Like, that's like the main thing. I don't know. It's more just like people right now know that there's money in the space and there's ways to raise capital. Until we stop like giving money for this stuff, they're going to keep doing it. It's like the ICO craze. Like, as simple as that is, dude, like MicroStrategy is trading at a crazy valuation. And I know PO will if I say MicroStrategy 2 more times, they'll show up. But they trade at like an over leverage versus what they actually hold. Like, dude, shout out my boy up in Canada, Tony G Holdings, just buying like 50 grand of hype. He's up on the buy, by the way. But it's just like stuff like that. Right now, it's just a game of how do we get crypto assets and how do we make people think that we're doing the right thing.
I also think there's an element of because the reverse merger is when a private company buys a publicly, or like a company which is already public, thereby making the private company public. And it's a much faster way to go through IPO. And I feel as if some of these companies might be trying to cut corners, let's say, to get to a public offering. Because how long is silly season really going to continue? We've got the Trump administration currently. Obviously, we don't know if he'll get elected. No, he can't be elected again. Let's just say he can't be elected again, right? So you've got 3 more years of this. You've got the midterms coming up next year. So already there's going to be that like momentum that Trump has given to the markets and that euphoria. How much longer is that going to be there? So I think they're essentially trying to just speed run IPO, make as much money as possible, and then just get out before it all burns down. And it kind of reminds me of when Trump was campaigning. And remember, there was one, I don't know where he was, but he was like, I'm going to make you rich. I'm going to make you so rich, you won't even know what to do with all the money. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was one of the things he said on the trail. And now, like, looking at that with hindsight, I feel like he was saying, I'm going to get so rich and I'm going to make myself and my family so rich, I won't know what to do with the money. Like, it definitely feels that he will participate in the upside. And if people put themselves in the correct position, they can also participate in the upside of the economy that he's putting together. But it definitely feels like some of these companies, they know that if Trump is not in power for the next election, all this like deregulation that we've seen around crypto and crime season, etc., will just go away. So I think they're trying to speed run the next 3 years by doing things like reverse mergers and other things, which will potentially be a house of cards by the end of it.
Yeah, Signal, to go off of that, Donald Trump disclosed this morning that he made over $57 million in profit or in income from the World Liberty Financial token sale. He also owns 15.7 billion World Liberty Fi tokens, representing over 15% of the token supply. And Truth Social filed for a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. They also, I believe, announced a phone line this morning. Is there Trump phone? Trump Mobile, they announced. This is not related to crypto, but they also announced Trump Mobile. These are some phones made in the US. This is a transformational new cellular service designed to deliver top-tier content. So they're just launching a bunch of stuff. The criticism for the Trump Mobile is not related to crypto, but was that Trump was placing all of these tariffs on mobile phones that weren't made in the US, like Apple. And now he's launching his own phone made in the US. You can't help but feel like there is some conflict of interest with this. And I've been saying this a little bit the last couple of weeks, that Trump's involvement in crypto and like going all in and profiting off of this feels like now we have an attack vector, because Democrats now could look at crypto. They're like, that's Trump's thing. He's profiting off of crypto. We don't want anything to do with it. So what you're saying, Signal, is that not only do they not want to get involved with it, but they might actively take a stance against crypto because Trump is so heavily into it.
I honestly think if we have some kind of like FTX, like I'm saying in the future, and let's say the next 4 years, some kind of FTX Black Swan event, which is so much worse than what FTX was, because TradFi and crypto will become so intertwined at one point that we'll just be going, fiat into crypto, crypto into fiat, like with a blink of an eye, and just thinking it's, just, do it on your phone as you go while you're having lunch. But if some kind of momentous Black Swan House of Cards event happens, I think you will see the Democrats try to go after the Trump administration for that, and the Republicans essentially pardoning their own people to be like, if anything bad ever happens, we're going to pardon XYZ people. I don't think the president would pardon himself because he's immune to it, I think. But like the most important people, so they can't be taken for this. But whatever, that's going to be in the future if that even happens. I just think right now, while like if it's crime season, you just got to run at the same speed that they're running, and you try to make as much money in the environment that they set up for everyone to participate. Because it's absolutely wild that Justin Sun was like basically fleeing and on the run, and is now going to be pretty much, high executive within the company in on US soil. It's wild, really. You're muted, Clemente.
They said they wanted, or the Trump family, the administration said they wanted to bring crypto to the US. They are doing that. Ultimately, they are doing that, but with it, a lot of looser regulations. And but you are seeing TradFi involvement now in crypto. Whether that's sustainable is a different question, right? We've seen over the last couple of months a large pivot from zombie companies, quote unquote, which are like these small cap public companies, buying a lot of crypto, whether that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and recently Hype. And yeah, we'll see how it ends up going. But this is kind of the adoption that I think Trump maybe had in mind. Nick, I see you frowning as you join the show. We were talking about Justin Sun Trump going public.
That wasn't a frown, dude.
Okay.
I just want to clarify that. I was just shocked there were only 2 people. I didn't realize you didn't text me and say, Nick, I need support. I need the godfather of, market analysis to step in.
We knew you'd step in anyway, Nick. We could just feel it. We just feel like his toes and feet are tingling. He's going to step in, and now Easy's back as well. So first of all, Nick, welcome to the show. Good to have you on. Haven't seen you in ages, or been with you
Nick.
on ages. And we got Easy back. So it's all good. The squad's here.
How long has it been? It's been like a week.
Yeah, but it feels, no, I miss you, man. I miss you if I don't see you for a week. You had a lot of fun to the show.
It's
so,
good to see you as well.
Good
I'm
to
happy
see
to
you.
see the signal.
Hey, Nick.
Dude, we've already talked enough, man.
Yeah, we talked yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I actually don't think we spoke yesterday.
No, yeah, you wished me a happy Father's Day. I appreciated that. Clemente didn't, which is weird because I raised him.
Because I'm his daddy.
Yeah, because I'm his daddy.
Clemente went to Disney World. Did you not make it to Universal?
No, we weren't even supposed to go. We just had it was just a spontaneous trip to Epcot or whatever the main Magical Kingdom or something.
Magic Kingdom is the main one.
The worst park, dude. Hands down, the worst one.
My girlfriend's aunt or something works at Disney, so we just went in for free. Was the thing, but it had certain restrictions. We couldn't leave Magic Kingdom until 2 p.m. and then we went to Epcot. And anyways.
You should have hit up Animal Kingdom, dude. Would have been the first place to start, probably.
I'm not a big animals and cages guy, really, unless they have some sort of injury.
It's not about animals and cages. You could have gone on the Avatar ride, which is basically the newest ride that exists at Disney World, as far as I'm aware. I don't know. I don't stay on top of all of this.
All right. Anyways, we're talking Tron. We're talking Trump. What's your stance, Nick?
Tron Treasury company is pretty wild. So I don't understand exactly what's going on with Tron, because if you look up on DeFi Llama and you look at who's generating the most income the most revenue, Tron is one of the top dogs.
But is it really revenue when it's just your own company funneling money back into it?
Well, I'm trying to figure out is it everyone says it's a Ponzi? You know what's crazy? So it's Tether, Circle, Pancake Swap at number 3, Hyperliquid at number 4,
which is also up to $44. Great trade by me, swapping out the CryptoPunk for Hyperliquid.
All right, dude.
The inhale is crazy. The inhale afterwards is so.
Just gotta let them know that I'm on top.
Tron comes right after Hyperliquid. Where is that coming from?
Dude, it's the Eastern market. We're not tapped in with the East. All right. As Westerners, we're on top of the West. But Pancake Swap being number 3 is BNB, which Pancake Swap handles all that. Shout out Dingling. But then Tron is similar vein over there. But it's also Justin Sun has complete control of just printing their stablecoin. Yeah, Ebrink's right. It's a big stablecoin company, but there's a lot of drama with how often they just print money out of thin air.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Sun doesn't seem to care about money. He doesn't.
When you can print infinite dollars, when you're your own Fed, we need to drop Bodogo USD so we can just print stables, and it won't be back to anything besides Clemente's credit score.
How do you support? The one thing I don't understand is how people keep that pegged. They have to go back and buy it when it goes up.
Have you ever seen that episode of SpongeBob where he's just imagination? It's kind of like that. It's just if you believe in it enough, it's okay. It's this is fine. If you're on enough leaderboards of having profit and having money, people are gonna be oh yeah, if something goes wrong, they'll make it right. Which was the big issue with UST and Luna. But I think it's true. Justin Sun has shown that the guy has wealth. He bought a banana for $12 million that was taped to a wall and then just gave it to Ross Ulbricht. He also paid, 25 mil to the Trump Foundation, or bought 25 million of the Trump token. And all of a sudden his investigation was dropped and now he's about to work with Eric Trump on a reverse merger. So like money talks. And if you got that cash, and people will just believe whatever they want. Like they don't need to. Yeah, Plasma ICO, perfect example. He threw like supposedly 100 mil at the thing across wallets, and they raised like 150 of them. Like the dude covered like 60% of the fucking thing. When you have that type of capital, you can kind of just do shit.
Yeah, but I even feel like when you say you have that type of capital, it's like I feel like he's not dipping into his own pockets and putting that money there. I feel like he goes out, gets a loan from somewhere else, and uses somebody else's money collateralized by his assets. And then if he ends up on the losing side of the trade, it's okay because somehow be able to have wiggle room from those collateral assets, and somebody else, the lender, loses the money. I just don't feel like that kind of character is dipping it into his own pocket to back himself. He's losing someone else's money, or he's making somebody else a lot of money. But either way, you know, oh man, I mean, how many times does somebody have to what is it that what's it saying? If the glove don't fit, what is it, guys? Come on, you're American.
If the glove don't fit, you're talking about OJ Simpson.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those, he did it, but somehow he got away.
The person who said it, but his lawyer.
Kardashian. Rob Kardashian. There you go.
No.
It wasn't actually Rob Kardashian who said that line, but Rob Kardashian did become famous because of defense. His role on the defense team of OJ Simpson.
There you go. But my point being, moving away from the Kardashians, it just feels like
Johnny Cochran.
There you go. How many times does a guy have to like basically commit a crime before everybody is like, maybe this guy isn't as trustworthy as we all think?
If the shoe fits, you must acquit. Or if the glove fits. Sorry,
it's not the shoe. There was no Cinderella. He strangled the woman. He didn't step on her.
All right.
The glove fit him. That was the more ridiculous thing.
No.
They were like, put on the glove. He's like, oh my God, it's so difficult. But it's fully on my hand. Fully on my hand.
I'm glad we have Chief Treasury Company Correspondent Pio Vincenzo joining us on the show as well to discuss and investigate the latest news of Tron going public via a reverse merger. They're also going to announce a treasury company as well. We also had Meme Land announcing a Solana treasury company, or Solana treasury as well.
Wait, Meme Land did?
Meme Land.
Did that pump the
Oh no, Nick, you're down another 18%.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I am. I have no idea. I haven't looked at the chart. I just wanted to give you stress.
So they announced today, Meme Strategy announced on June 16th that it has used internal funds to purchase 2,440 Solana tokens for roughly 2.9 million. I don't know what the Hong Kong currency is, as part of a strategic treasury allocation. We also had Metaplanet, I believe, hit a new high since announcing their big or their treasury company. We had Michael Saylor cheering them on. Pio, what do you make of the latest in the treasury company announcements? I know you talked a little bit about it this morning in our chat, but would love for you to share your thoughts.
I think Metaplanet is the most interesting one because Japan, you can't buy Bitcoin in Japan. And so that's why they're getting, like, the most recent one was like $210 million raised with 0% interest, because people are just using, I think Metaplanet is the most interesting one. That's all I have to say.
Any other thoughts on the...
Hey, thanks for that insight.
Any other thoughts on Tron?
Sleep, dude. I know nobody wants to hear about the equities side of this stuff, so I just want to keep it really short, really short.
Got it. Awesome. Any other commentary on Tron, Justin Sun, public companies?
I'm not.
Are any of you guys concerned about these treasury companies? And
what's there to be concerned about?
I have no idea how they're raising all this money and what happens if are they levered? Are they issuing new
breakout on the hype punks chart I got?
There you go.
Look at this thing, man. Absolutely wonderful trade by me.
That has nothing to do with what we were just discussing.
Yeah, but it still looks good. Does it not?
We do have hype breaking out to another all-time high. Hype is at $44, up 20% in the last 7 days, 66% in the last month. Easy. Could you pull up the hype Solana chart real quick?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
Every time I woke up this morning and I saw Solana pumping and I was like, oh, let's go. And it was outpacing Solana, or it was outpacing Ethereum, Bitcoin. And then I scrolled down a little bit further and I just see hype up 11%.
Yeah, no, this is the chart. Like
Hype's been doing pretty well.
Yeah, it was one of the best rotations I've ever had.
I'm wondering, I'm still considering adding more.
Hype to $160.
You just
So
taking that
that's
from
like a
Kobe?
little bit
Yup.
less than a 4x.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
pretty.
literally stealing it from Kobe.
That's probably the best crypto. That's probably as good as you're possibly going to get on the crypto side. I don't like what else is going to 4x like in the same time frame.
Nothing.
Like nothing. Literally. Well, SPX 6900.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing I see a lot. 683. They're comparing this shit to BNB in that run. But I mean, hey, my bags look great. I'm just saying this stock just
It's not a stock.
SPX 6900 and Fartcoin are the only competitors, I think.
You said SPX and what?
Fartcoin.
What do you think about hype versus Solana, Easy?
Hype is going to outpace.
It's going to smoke Solana.
Two different use cases for on-chain, in my opinion. Hype EVM sucks. Like, the actual chain they built isn't good right now. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. But they've proven that they can do high volume. And you can buy gold and trade gold with leverage on Hype now. So, like, they're already moving over into the commodity side of things, which is really interesting. I think they'll front-run Solana on being able to trade equities on-chain, personally. Like, they have the capital and the infrastructure to do it. And more people are interested in using Hype. I still think Solana has a better edge when it comes to like retail and participation. We already saw 2 different cycles of like retail being able to use Solana dApps between STEPN and then the meme coin craze. So, I mean, I don't think Sol is dead. I mean, dude, shit, this thing's at 155. Like, it's still good.
Well, you got all the ETFs coming up.
Yeah, so I think that's going to push it. But Tony G Holdings is what's sending this much higher.
I don't think that the ETFs matter. I mean, the ETFs have been a complete nothing burger for Ethereum. There is I think
it's driving a lot of the volume. Like ETH ETF volume is basically only inflows last 2 weeks and has outpaced Bitcoin inflows. Like it looks good
past like month, but obviously ETH has like aggressively underperformed not only Bitcoin but just everything. Like
I think that's not due to like anything besides the fact that it's a disparate system. Like ETH at this point, which was supposed to be the internet of crypto and like this thing for dApps and security and everything to be on chain, you have too many like underlying tech stacks now between every type of EVM, which has led to a dispersion of how much capital is allocated to the actual asset itself. When you have multiple EVMs and their own gas token and no real demand for that ecosystem token to exist, you're in trouble. But now, like, that's why I think Solana will outpace ETH, even still, because there aren't L2s, there aren't all this other stuff happening. When you have so many different places that stuff is being traded on for ETH as like roll-ups and Optimism and Arbitrum and everything under the sun, Abstract, like Mega ETH, all this stuff, it just takes away from the value accrual to the actual thing. Like, I think that's the hardest part here because there's just so many options that I can pick from that'll probably outpace it and work more efficiently and better. It's like looking at Windows 98 to present day. Like even then, like I'd want Apple because it's just a better operating system, still built on Linux and all this other shit. So
I think you mean Windows 95.
Probably Windows 95. 98 was different, but you picked up, you understood where I was going with that one. It just
kind of
many different things. Like I think that's ETH's downfall.
Well, what you're saying that's going to bleed in other parts of crypto is that I think there's just a difference between something being like a really great network, a really great technology platform, a really great developer platform, and a very good financial investment. ETH has still been a decent financial investment, but these two things don't go hand in hand in crypto moving forward, is my opinion. I don't think that, a lot of crypto tokens are going to be really good financial investments. I don't think Hyperliquid is going to be a good financial investment over the next 8 years. It might be over the next like 8 weeks 8 months or something like that. But, you know, as soon as a new hot crypto token takes off, like ETH a few years back, like Solana a couple of years back, the competitors come out. Look at Sui. Who's to say that Sui isn't going to attract more investment than Solana, just like Solana attracted more investment than ETH, right? So the competition just makes it brutal for these crypto tokens, and they have like these moments where they perform really, really well. But that doesn't mean that crypto tokens as a whole are like a really great financial investment over the long term for all the reasons that you just laid out. There's just a lot going on with this stuff. And ETH's market cap is $300 billion, which is just insane. It's a top 35 asset in the world, and you can't explain what it is in one sentence.
I mean, that last statement, I don't know, but
Well, let's hear it. What's the pitch? What's the one sentence pitch on Ethereum? What is it?
blockchain development platform.
Okay. And why is it the best one? Why is it worth $300 billion?
I mean, it's the primary one that people build on.
Okay. Will it continue to be? Or will people start building on Solana or Sui or AVAX?
Well, that's the question. But I gave you the one sentence answer, so it was accomplished. I just want note that, mark it, put a pin in it, and be like, you got it. Okay, you did it. So, point proven. Okay. Just...
Go tell that to some institutional investor that's looking to deploy $500 million or something into a blockchain developer platform. It's just not the same thing as like Bitcoin long-term store of value asset. It's just different. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we're talking about two different things. You're talking about one is the monetary value of the asset going up, and what Nick is talking about is like when the most traditional companies in the world are thinking about building something, where are they going to go? Where will the most boring company in the world go? I'm just going to pick Deloitte. Where is Deloitte going to go? If you can get a more boring company than that, please tell me. And you have to ask yourself, where would they go? It's, that saying, you never get fired for hiring IBM. That's what Ethereum is, because it's so reliable and they don't want to make a mistake. And I agree with you, Pio. It's two separate things. Monetary value, like the monetary asset going up, but also you have to think by more attention and infrastructure and building going to Ethereum over time, because like you said, it's been around for so long now, price eventually, maybe the next 10 years will go up, but they are two separate things and you have to think about them differently.
Yeah. I mean, there's a really high probability that Ethereum goes extinct over the next like 25 to 50 years. I'm serious. There's actually a greater probability it goes extinct than not. So it's just interesting to me to come up with these narratives and all these things when, dude, the thing's probably not even going to be around in 50 years. So it's like, is it even worth?
I don't agree with that statement. And I'm an ETH hater.
In 50 years, people are just going to be like, ETH? Like, do you know how long?
Yeah, I think ETH will still exist from at least an underlying tech standpoint. I think that there'll be a better L2, but there's still foundational blocks. Like, that's the thing, is like, there's still stuff from the .com bubble that people still reference and use. Like,
yeah, there's old technology, but does it matter? Like the really old stuff that.
But you just said it wouldn't exist though.
What I mean exist as a relevant thing in the world, right?
Okay, so point proven number 2. give me the crown basically, and I'm just gonna wear it around.
Dude, putting a flag in the ground and being like Ethereum's going to be relevant in 50 years is
relevant. Is a different conversation.
It's insane. You could have looked at Amazon back in the early 2000s and just been like, how is this little website going to allow you to
sell
take over the world?
Yeah,
You can't predict how technology will manifest itself exponentially in the next 50 years. I think your statement is so overcooked because you're thinking of all people, Pio, who think long term and now thinking short term. 50 years? That is wild. That is wild what will happen in technology in the next 50 years.
The internet did not exist 50 years ago.
Dude, I've had
black and white televisions. That's all we had.
I listen to so much crazy stuff. Look at this. I just sat on the show and listened to so much crazy stuff. Now the new one is in 50 years, Ethereum is going to be relevant. In 50. Ethereum, the thing that's already getting stomped right now, is going to be relevant in 50 years, underperformed for 6 years running out of the 15-year history that this stuff has even existed. Obviously, Ethereum's been around for a little bit less than that. When FTX went down, I had to hear about how that was like bad for Bitcoin, the end of Bitcoin. I just have to listen to crazy stuff over here, dude.
Shifting gears a little bit, we can talk very briefly some quick hitters.
I mean, to be clear, still wearing the crown. Okay, I'm gonna be walking around all day wearing that bad boy, dude.
It's slightly tilted, Nick. Can you just make it a bit straight? Make it a bit straight.
Sorry.
All right, so we had some quick hitters. Let me know. You guys chime in whenever you find any of these interesting. Fartcoin, which has been recently listed on, which was recently listed on Coinbase, getting some traction over there. It leads all meme majors in volume on Coinbase since being listed. One of my concerns about Fartcoin historically has been, do normies care about it? Do they actually find it interesting? Turns out they do, with over $21 million in volume over, I don't know how long. It's getting traction while being listed. The big question that Pio has been talking about, that a lot of people have been talking about, is will it outperform SPX in a long enough time horizon? Right now, it's still under. It's at a $1.24 billion market cap. Nick, you're still in the Fartcoin maxi?
I mean, I'm still holding my Fartcoin position. I think I have a decent amount, like $20,000 worth or something like that, which is wild. I'm about to move, I think, another 20K over to Hype just to add to that bag. Because I think that's going to flip Bitcoin. It's the next Bitcoin. So yeah, bottom line is, yes, I think Fartcoin is interesting. I think the SPX 6900 is interesting as well. I'm less. There's people trying to act like when you talk about Fartcoin, people in the replies now post fuckcoin, and I'm like, so fuckcoin can't work as well as Fartcoin because people can't say it on TV. So like they can't be on TV being like Fartcoin doubled in price. They can say that. They can't be like fuckcoin doubled in price.
Those guys are cooked. Those guys are cooked. Useless coin is pumping from.
Can you imagine if that's a real human on the other end of that's posting that reply? Can you imagine? Like, I want to like know who that person is. Actually, I don't. I don't want to know because they're a loser. Okay?
Yeah. I don't want to know them either.
Oh, here we go. If we got one.
Astro Society, who he does like Fartcoin. Over the weekend, Polkadot proposed to convert 500,000 Polkadot of their token, $50 million, into Bitcoin over time to build this Treasury reserve. This was very interesting. I see Pio reacting to this news. If I was a Polkadot holder, I wouldn't know how I would react to this. I would basically be like, so I shouldn't hold Polkadot and I should just hold Bitcoin instead.
Because there's a difference between a good financial investment and a technology platform and a technology network. And what you're seeing is the Polkadot Treasury opting for a strong financial investment. I don't even know anything about Polkadot. I'm not even talking trash about Polkadot, but it's a crypto token. And so clearly people are slowly starting to realize, like from a financial investment standpoint,
I mean, it's pretty bad for Polkadot, if I'm being honest. Who the hell wants to own Polkadot?
Cardano's going to do it too. And unless Ethereum does it, I don't really see what the future is in 50 years.
Got it. Ethereum converts their whole ETH treasury to Bitcoin, and that's going to save their company.
You just said it on the show, June 16th. That clip might end up being something that gets pulled out later.
Like I didn't say it in a way that I believe it.
I know. Exactly. That's what I mean.
Let's talking broader crypto price action. We had war continue to pick up, or fears of World War III picking up. Despite that, however,
let's dive into this
No, I don't.
Your local war analyst. Hold on, let's bring it in. I've been reading the news too. I'm ready to talk about Iran, Israel. I'm ready to discuss it. Some of the surrounding countries, figuring out how they're going to be playing into this. How is Europe going to play into this as well? What's their position going to be? And is China going to get dragged into this war? That's what a lot of us are wondering. Because if China gets dragged in to back up Iran, well, then we legitimately may have a World War III. And is that where we're headed right now? Do we think that? Because one other thing, just to throw out there, Clemente, right now, is the U.S. needs to back Israel in this situation if they're going to get a bunker busting bomb to go after the real nuclear plant that exists at this point in time, which is underground. And the only country that has that technology right now is the U.S. So what are they going to do? How are they going to navigate that situation? And what's at risk right now? Is World War III really on the horizon? And my guess is, if you're asking me, Clemente, thanks for the question, my answer is yes. We're on the verge of that right now. Back to you.
How old are you?
25.
You could get drafted. That'd be crazy.
Can I?
Yeah, 25 last year. When you turn 26?
September. So I've.
You're good.
Oh yeah, you got a couple months, dude. But maybe like they ship you off. That'd be crazy. Imagine the content.
The Gen Z people getting drafted, like, yo, I just got drafted. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's right.
They got Wi-Fi out there.
Nah, you're doing too much. I don't want to drop the bomb on them. That's crazy.
I'm all for peace, bro.
Nah, that fit ain't it, man. Get that army uniform away from me. That fit ain't it, bro. Yo, bro.
They're in basic training.
Yo, man. Yo, this basic training is basic. You feel me?
Okay.
I
Bet.
Yeah.
Is bit the new bet?
Not bet. Your ears. Fix them.
Yeah.
On a serious note, we have Bitcoin holding up surprisingly well.
That's the boomer coin.
Bitcoin at 106. Ray pointed this out that Bitcoin dumped more during Trump and Elon's public dispute on Twitter. Their breakup, we saw basically a larger dump than what we saw when.
Yo, pull up MLG.
Okay.
MLG. This coin is lit. Pull it up.
Any thoughts on this? Are we, dude? It's so hard.
Europe here, Clemente. Europe here. Just coming straight out of the beach. Sorry, we are hot into Euro summer right now, but I'll just quickly come out of the water and tell you what our thoughts are. No, sorry, I just going off the back of Nick there. But honestly, what I think is going to happen is nothing. Only because I don't think Trump is interested in being a wartime president. You know, you guys have had certain presidents who just like go to bed wanting to have their legacy that I was a wartime president and I solved this major crisis or started a major crisis, whichever one. But Trump is not like that. I think he's honestly way more focused and just making America better under his term for the next 4 years. And I know some of his stuff that he's done looks completely like, you know, batshit crazy, but I really do think that is what he wants to focus on. He does not want to go into another war. You hear him talk about Putin and how he's not happy with him. And you just get the feeling that he just wants this resolved, bow on it, tie it up. With Israel, he's like, they kidnapped Greta Thunberg. They have bigger problems than Greta right now. You know, he's just like, he brings a bit of comedy to it and just the way he sort of communicates about the messaging, but his messaging is never like other global leaders where it's like, I basically am a warmonger and I want to go into this war. He's completely the opposite of that. So that's why I honestly think that he wants to try and find a resolution as fast as possible and just move on back to the American economy and making America great again. That is his mission.
This war is without question the biggest test right now. How this goes down is the biggest test. If we get involved in this war, that is not good for the DJT. It's just not good. If we get involved with any war under his tenure, under his term, it ain't going to be good.
We'll be
So-
involved.
All right. Well, then it's bad. It's not good.
The question is how. But it's like if we get involved with Ukraine, which we are, like we're like supplying all the weapons and stuff like that. The real question.
But there's different ways. Sorry to interrupt you, but there's different ways of being involved in a war which impacts markets and doesn't impact market. So they can do it openly, they can do it covertly, they can do it like, oh, we supply weapons kind of thing, but we're going to be on your doorstep, knocking at your door, being like, Russia, you need to stop. That's very different. So it's more like they will be involved. Like, I don't think they're not going to go and back Israel. I think they will pretty much have to, but that can happen in many different ways. And I think Trump will do that first before he goes to the press and says, like, we are 100% entering the war. Your sons and daughters are going to die for this war. I don't think he's doing that. Not on his watch. No way. And for
You
that,
heard it here.
it's a nothing burger. And it's for that, it's a nothing burger in the stock market, which is why nothing is really happening. Everyone seems completely desensitized to missiles just going back and forth, which 12 months ago was definitely not the case.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see how this evolves. How the situation on the ground is. We're gonna be tuning into our local reporters to find out how is Tehran looking right now. Where is the disruption taking place right there? And we'll be speaking with our local Israelis to see. It legitimately, like my sister, the company she works at, their Israeli offices were just blown to smithereens. Basically, no one was in there, fortunately, while that happened. But offices hit by a missile. Pretty wild.
Damn.
Pretty crazy. I mean, can you imagine having missile type shit like hit your building?
Pump.Fun token OTC right now trading at $6 billion evaluation.
Which one?
Pump.Fun. It's a 50% increase from the raise.
I would buy it. I want to buy it at 4.
Yeah, you can't buy it when you're on the front lines, idiot. Enjoy war.
What? Sorry. Is it actually trading right now? Is there trading like pre?
It's pre-market, 75K in volume. Launched this morning.
75K. All right, I'll stand by to.
Yeah,
$75,000 backing $6 billion. Let's see how.
We need a little bit more cash flow on this one.
Yeah,
a little bit more cash flow.
Some quick hitters before we wrap. We have some Bonkai tokens ripping. We got Useless up from the lows up to 82 mil, pumping hard. Useless coin, his holdings are now worth over $4 million. We talked about this. Hype is at a new all-time high at $44. Labubu, the trending little plushy thing.
I heard about Labubu this weekend. Just how hot is Labubu?
It's hot, dude. It's hot. Chief Labubu corresponding. Easy.
Dude, it's been hot. It's been hot for a while.
No, this guy's got a Labubu. That's crazy.
No, he's got a
Where did
big
you
ass.
get that Labubu?
Easy. Do you have the human sized one with you?
Yeah, I'll go find it. It's like we got like the bear bricks I have in my house, like the big ass ones. We got a Labubu that's that size.
How much is it? One of the Labubus?
That one's $40,000.
$560. It's Vo's birthday in like 3 weeks, so it was an early birthday gift, and she decided to open it when I wasn't paying attention. So I had it hidden. She found it, and then I walked out, and she was hugging the thing. I was like, "What the fuck? Now I gotta get you something else." This sucks. She's just like holding it. I'm just like, this thing's massive, dude. Fucking massive.
Well, where do you get a Labubu?
StockX. They're like just very, very hyped. They're in the same realm as Bear Bricks and everything else now. They're from a website called PopMart is the one that launches them.
Yeah.
I think there's a PopMart in New York City. There might be one in Miami, but they
There's one in New York.
Yeah, so there's one in New York. When we were in England, there was a PopMart, and they had a sign on the front door that they were no longer selling Labubus in store because 3 days prior, a fist fight broke out over Labubus.
Nah, come on.
Damn, this one's $515. This one that looks so sick.
No,
So the way they're hyped because they have like you buy a box of them, you get 12, and there's a chance to hit one that's not listed on the box. So they have like rares that aren't listed.
Wait, so when you buy it at drop, you buy a box of a dozen? You get a dozen?
You can buy 1 or 12 or 3 or whatever, but they're mystery boxes. So you don't know what's inside of it until you open it. So they did a very good, it's like an IRL NFT reveal. They did a very good job on the collectability side of it.
How much is one Labubu?
30 to 40 bucks.
That's it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not that expensive, but
Not
the
expensive.
but
They're just
the
like-
rares is what you're going for, dude. You're rocking like a rare Beanie Baby around your
Yeah,
neck.
and
You know,
they
what I'm
all have
saying?
like keychains on them. So that's the thing is like people like hang them on shit.
They
I
put them
don't
on their purse. The girls walk around with the purse and the Labubu. My
I've
girl.
seen so many people on Instagram, so many people who I follow who have
Yeah,
them.
she be rocking the Labubu.
These
Yeah.
are dumb vibey.
Yeah, they stupid.
Stupid. I want one. I'm getting a life-size one, dog.
I want one, and I'm gonna wear it around. I'm gonna put it on my keychain.
That's fine. That's absolute heat.
Nick's gonna put it on the e-bike, and that's gonna get stolen before the bike.
Oh, God. I mean, they fucking stole my old-ass helmet, so I'm sure they're going to steal your Labubu.
I'm not like afraid. I'm gonna be honest. That was like a mini trauma that happened with the.
Dude, they steal the bikes.
Well,
I had two stolen.
It's a mini trauma because you're walking into a situation that, in theory, there is a non-zero chance of,
of violence. Yeah.
Because the guy. Did you tell the story on the show?
No.
No. Well, we were getting beers with one of our clients in Miami, and Nick noticed a gentleman kneeling down in front of his e-bike. Nick has a very vibey e-bike. He has the #1 e-bike brand called Super 73. It's very, very dope. And me and Clemente's bikes were parked nearby. The gentleman didn't seem very interested in ours, but plopped down next to Nick and started fiddling with a large bag. Nick immediately got up and was like, that guy's trying to steal my bike. I immediately was skeptical and thought Nick was overreacting because Nick often is concerned about people stealing his bike. And I typically write that.
I've never said that. I've never said that guy is stealing my bike.
No, but I mean,
You said that brownie is stealing my bike.
Yeah.
What?
racial
I did not
slur.
say that. And the guy was white.
No, you called him a racial slur based on his ethnicity, and I'm just kidding.
That Latinx,
But Nick walked over and undid his bike and walked away with it. The gentleman had a bag of tools, so clearly he had ill intentions. It wasn't even late. It was like 9 o'clock.
The guy was definitely trying to steal it. So yeah, that was. But now every time I park it somewhere, I'm like afraid of bringing it to like Wynwood, basically, because I think Wynwood is probably one of the high target areas. The edge of Wynwood, like a lot of the edge areas, because there's not like a ton of foot traffic on some of those streets. That guy was just straight up chilling there. But I also knew when I parked the bike, it was on one of the signs that you can unscrew. And I was like, so if someone wants to steal this bike, they're going to, but I could see the bike from where I was seated. So that's why I put it there. Someone said no one deserves to have their bike stolen. If you ride an e-bike to Wynwood.
Dad's ass over here is acting like Wynwood is a third world country. It's not that serious, man. I should be able to park my bike there and hang out.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Daddy Nick, 2 wrongs don't make a right, Daddy Nick.
Nick, for those that are listening to the audio and just thrilled by this conversation, said someone stole my bike in Copenhagen once, so I stole another bike that was parked next to where mine was and went home. That's the right way to do it.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. We're live on YouTube. We're on Twitter Space. We're on Spotify and all major podcasts. Thanks. See you tomorrow.